We want to bring in another special guest with us today, Officer Terry Dixon with the Grand Rapids Police Department. Full disclosure, Terry and I go back. You used to work as a news photographer back a long time ago. How long have you been a police officer now?
I've been a police officer for 13 years, and you and I met.
We used to work in Lansing together, and so you've been on both sides of this, which is kind of a unique perspective from our angle. And we're watching some of these poignant issues, and we're talking with Under Sheriff Hess here too about what it means to be a police officer on a day like this. The fraternity, the brotherhood, and you've got a fallen comrade, and how that's so unique in American society. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, first, my thoughts immediately go to Officer Zapata's family and everyone who played a part in his life and was with him from beginning to today. Being a police officer is, and on a day like today, I'm proud. I am proud to be a public servant, one who has been doing the work for 13 years now, and it's not an easy job. But we put on the uniform every day to go out and protect and serve, and it's an honor and a privilege to do that.
Is there such a thing as a routine call when you're out on the beat? When you get a call late at night, shots fired, is there such a thing as, oh, this is just a random routine call?
Absolutely not. No such thing. Each and every call could be, all of them are different. You never know what you're going to encounter. The shot or the description of the call may come out as the same, but the results are hardly ever the same. You just never know what to expect from one minute to the next. You never know.
Do you think a situation like this has officers sort of reassessing their own lives when they see something like this happen?
Yeah, how can you not?
Well, on a day like today, absolutely. But law enforcement is a little different than any other profession. A day like today and any other day, we are forced to face our mortality. We have to be prepared. We have to prepare our families for any type of event that could arise, because we know that each and every day we place ourselves in harm's way, and we never know. But we can, and we do, most of us do, prepare our families in case of those events.
Have those conversations with those possibilities.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that goes without saying, you've gone through this just 4 years ago with Officer Robert Kosminski, who was killed in the line of duty himself. As a colleague of someone who dies in the line of duty, as that department tries to grapple with that loss, do you ever get over it? How do you process that as a professional, going back to your job, knowing all that's happened in the past?
We have a motto, and that is to never forget. And we never get over it. We get through it, but we never get over it. Officer Kosminski, you know, that tragic event, you know, that will live on with all of us. But we also want to celebrate his life, like we're doing today with Officer Zapata, celebrating the heroic things in his life, the accomplishments that he's made over the years to this day, and putting his life on the line. Those are the things we celebrate today.
Yeah, well, like you said right off the top, it's about pride. Pride in your profession and pride in what you do, and honoring their memory.
Absolutely.
And dedication. You know, a lot of people in the Edison neighborhood where he patrolled, Eric Zapata, they talk about his dedication and his enthusiasm to turn that neighborhood around. That's a commitment.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And that's one of the reasons why we want to celebrate his life today.
We're expecting about 4,000 people attending today's service, 3,500 at Miller Auditorium, another 500 at the Dalton Center. A lot of moving parts that go into planning something like this. I mean, you've got the family to consider, all of the officers coming in from all over the area, the venue, the traffic. This is a big undertaking.
It most certainly is. There are many moving parts, as you said. Lots of people who are involved in this type of situation in the funeral. On down, I mean, you can see on the screen the number of officers who are there. But I would defer to Under Sheriff Hess regarding the whole planning and all of the details that go into putting on an event such as this.
Well, they pull it off flawlessly, that's for sure. And they're beautiful images, they're very heartbreaking images, but important ones for all of us to see. Terry Dixon, with the Grand Rapids Police Department, hanging out with us for a little bit. We appreciate it. It's such a sad occasion, but it's nice to have you here. Thank you. And the Grand Rapids Police Officer Terry Dixon, again, staying with us on set here, talking about, and we asked this question of Under Sheriff John Hess, but I'll ask it to you. Do you feel that there's been some sort of shift in attitude out in the streets as far as treating police with respect, or just a general attitude of, it seems like the violence has been ratcheted up somewhat, and whether that's manufactured by the media or a result of society or the economy or what happened, do you feel that things have changed out there?
I do. I don't believe that it's been manufactured at all. Even the Attorney General had gone on record in March stating that there seems to be some sort of a attack on police officers, if you will, and that's nationwide. Most people are law-abiding citizens and respect and honor the work that police officers do. But there is a segment of society out there who do not. And that's the segment that targets police when they have the opportunity to do so. And I do believe that we have seen a rise in the attacks against police officers.
Officer Dixon, Public Safety Chief Hadley says that officers have been supported in their grief by little things from the community, like a candle in the window, flowers at the flagpole, a kind word, things like that. Talk about community support in a time like this. Well,
you've heard the expression, it's the little things that count.
Right.
That's very true. That's very true. Just the kind gesture of, thank you, officer, for the work that you do. A candle. I mean, it's the small gestures that really do make a big difference. Police officers in general are humble people, and in general they prefer the smaller notes of kindness rather than the big grandiose in general, but they count. Mm-hmm. They absolutely count.
Mm-hmm.
Grand Rapids Police Officer Terry Dixon, thanks for your time today.
We'd like to bring in Grand Rapids Officer Terry Dixon once again. Do you think people have a tendency to think that police officers are trained for this? They can handle it. They're tough. And yet, that support is so necessary to get through something as painful as this.
Yes, I do believe that in general, the public expects, the police officers to endure a certain level of violence, if you will, being the protectors of the city. But you never are prepared for something like such as heinous as this.
Sue, I was just looking at the Rest in Peace Kalamazoo police officer Eric Zapata Facebook page, just some of the comments that are coming in. Thoughts and prayers to your family and friends, Officer Zapata. You're truly a hero. God bless Officer Zapata. Our thoughts and prayers with the family. Thank you for everything that you did and stood for. You will be missed but never forgotten. Prayers go out to the family and friends. God be with you now and always. As the community remembers and reflects on his life and times.
Social media is such an effective way to really get those thoughts out there and to the people. The family must be comforted, I would think, in reading messages like that.
What kind of help, Terry, goes out to the family after something like this happens? Certainly they're not abandoned by the department, and I've got to believe everybody steps up a little bit to make sure that they're okay.
Yes, they are just included into the family even more. Mm-hmm. There's a bond that builds during this time, and it just grows closer. Anything that the department, and I'd be willing to say any department can do for the loved ones of an officer who's fallen, the door is wide open. We do everything that we can.
For the family, and also I would imagine the officers, Can you talk about some of the support that the officers in that department may be able to receive as well?
Well, I am not sure exactly what they have within the police department, but statewide and even locally here, we have support groups. Grand Rapids, we have a cop-to-cop support group, a peer support group, and then there are other groups out there. But on the state level, in the line of duty, and there are others out there. But we seek to just comfort and just make sure that that person knows that they're loved and that we care.
Yeah, just knowing that there's someone there in case something comes up. And it's one of those things, too, that you can't take it too lightly, that if someone's hurting, they might not show what's going on, if a colleague's hurting. And as we were talking with Under Sheriff Hess earlier, I wonder, when something like this happens, is it hard not to take it personally?
Well, we all experience grief in our own way. And I think it is personal. When I first heard of Officer Zapata's death, it went through me like a hot knife through butter. It hurt. And I think that all officers, public safety officers around the country feel that way. And I think it's something that's shared throughout the entire law enforcement community.
Again, it's that bond. It's that understanding between each other of what you experience on a daily basis when you put the uniform on. The
Yes.
danger that's out there.
Because we're all accustomed to the unique experience that a uniformed officer experiences each and every day. We never know what to expect from one minute to the next. We full well know that there's a possibility that we may not come home at the end of that shift. But I think for law enforcement in general is to experience each day to its fullest and to be thankful that we are able to do what we've been called to do, and that's serve and protect.
Grand Rapids Police Officer Terry Dixon.